Thank you so much for joining us for your 5 News at noon. I'm Claire Everbach. We begin today with a water warning in Sequoia County. Some residents are now under a boil water advisory. Rural Water District 8 says crews found 2 water line leaks Thursday. They're asking customers today to boil water before drinking, cooking, or preparing food until repairs are complete. People near East 1060 and South 4690 roads and in the Blackham area may also see low water pressure or no water at all. And Benton County is moving forward with a nearly $20 million jail expansion aimed at addressing a growing lack of space for misdemeanor offenses. Benton County leaders met to create the plan, adding a new 285-bed misdemeanor pod next to the existing jail. Sheriff Sean Holloway says the current jail is so overcrowded that many people arrested for misdemeanors are released rather than held. He says that can create additional costs when defendants fail to appear in court.
They get released, then paperwork goes to the court and they don't show up. They have people have to go through there, they enter the warrant, and there's a cost associated with this. And you multiply that times thousands and thousands of times, there is a real cost to the taxpayer.
The facility is expected to open in phases, likely beginning in late 2028 or early 2029. The county has set aside about $20 million to build the new pod, but once it opens, it could cost more than $4 million a year to fully operate. Well, we've told you this week about the growing concern statewide after an extension on Arkansas's Medicaid expansion program was denied. And now we've learned the state is seeking a temporary solution to help transition away from the program. More than 200,000 Arkansans get insurance through AR Home. The program uses Medicaid dollars to buy private insurance for low-income Arkansans. The governor's office says federal officials verbally denied the state's request to extend the current waiver. Now, DHS Secretary Janet Mann is formally asking for a 2-year extension, giving the state time to wind down the program and launch a new one. Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Defense has announced plans for $80 million in upgrades planning for the 188th and Fort Smith. The Pentagon awarded a $41 million contract to construct an aircraft maintenance hangar at Ebbing Air Base. Another $39 million construction contract was also issued for a facility that will support mission planning, command briefing, and administration associated with the fighter pilot training program. The hangar maintenance bay is set to open by March of 2028, and the administrative facility is scheduled to be completed by 2029. And new at noon, a small win for the governor after a federal judge threw out part of a lawsuit challenging the Arkansas Learns Act. The Arkansas NAACP sued after the state revoked AP credit for African American studies, arguing the decision violated the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. The judge dismissed that claim, ruling the plaintiffs did not show the state intentionally discriminated based on race. The U.S. District Judge did, however, keep the rest of the case alive. The judge says he wants to hear more arguments before deciding whether the Learns Act fails to clearly explain what teachers can and cannot teach. And Arkansas is seeing a sharp rise in cyclospora cases, but that doesn't necessarily mean that more people are getting sick right now. The state has now reported, as of today, 237 cases, with Benton County reporting the most. One food safety attorney says many of the new reports are helping connect people who got sick weeks ago because the parasite can take up to 2 weeks before symptoms appear. And from cyclospora to another foodborne threat, salmonella cases are also being linked to contaminated produce as outbreaks continue to spread across the U.S. Cole Higgins has the latest.
New concerns about yet another foodborne illness outbreak across the country. Salmonella outbreaks tied to eggs, chickens, and jalapenos have sickened hundreds nationwide.
Salmonella is a much more dangerous infection than cyclospora.
The CDC is now tracking 345 cases of salmonella linked to jalapenos, including 36 hospitalizations across 27 states. State health officials found more than 100 people sickened with salmonella in Minnesota, a majority of them after eating food from Mexican-style restaurant chain Chipotle between mid-June and July. The CDC tying cases to jalapenos grown in Sinaloa, Mexico, and distributed by Coast Citrus Distributors. Now, both Chipotle and its rival Qdoba announcing they've stopped serving jalapenos.
It can spread into the bloodstream, into joints, into prosthetics in the body, and sometimes it can cause kidney failure. And so it makes sense that they're going to be very aggressive here.
The CDC says because both restaurants pulled the peppers, their food should be safe to eat. Researchers say when it comes to avoiding these types of foodborne illnesses, you also have to go with your gut and choose what you feel comfortable eating.
Salmonella usually comes actually from poor hygiene of people that might be handling the food or preparing, the produce. So they might trace it in one, restaurant to jalapenos, but the truth is, it can be in anything. So we can't live in a bubble.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
And developing today, President Trump has signed new executive orders that aim to restrict birthright citizenship for certain categories of people, like children of foreign government employees, including ambassadors, children of anyone considered an alien enemy of the United States, and babies of foreign nationals on a visa for the purposes of giving birth on American soil. This is a practice known as birth tourism.
Birth tourism is by definition a fraud on the American system, on the American taxpayer, on the American visa.
Back in late June, the High Court upheld in a 6-3 decision that the 14th Amendment means everyone born in the United States is an American citizen at birth, regardless of their parents' immigration status.
I think these are ripe for a legal challenge. I think there are portions of the executive orders that, if they are read narrowly, might withstand review.
And Citizens says it also plans to oppose the new orders. In a statement, LULAC called them an attempt to, quote, violate the guaranteed civil rights embedded in our Constitution.